Hey guys, this is MJ with MJD Sports coming at you with another video. I did the flex offense in a 10-part series. Hope you checked it out and liked it. This is going to be one, again, an offense that I've used for several years. Um, I think it's very useful if you have guards and you get out and set pick and rolls and you have players that are kind of heady and understand what they're doing. So hopefully this is something that you find useful as well. If you do like it, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'd appreciate it. What I'm going to show you today is I'm actually doing this on I have Fast Draw Basketball. If any of you guys don't have it, and I don't get paid anything by Fast Draw. I used to 10 years ago have a playbook on the computer that would move. I mean, I could hit play and it would show you the play in motion. I'd love to get one of those again. Um, but unfortunately, you couldn't print that playbook. The great thing about this is that you can print it and create playbooks. Now, I've done that for a couple of teams, but at the end of the day, I think most teams are good at just kind of if you show them how to run something, they physically get to run it. That's the best way to do it. That's just my opinion. But like I said, I'm not being paid anything by Fast Draw to promote their product. It's just a product that I use that I really enjoy, and so that's what I'm going to show you this on today. So the offense that I'm going to show you today is what we call Thunder. And I don't have a name that for any special reason except I needed a name. But you'll notice in this offense, you start with a point guard, two wings, two posts, and your posts are actually going to start on the wings and start with a screen down. This way, you free up your wings and you get your posts down at the blocks. And on this offense, again, you can start by going any direction that you want. For those of you who watched my flex offense, I said, we always diagram it going to the right because 98% of us are right-handed, and that's the way most people go. Yet, oddly enough, this is one that 98% of the time we go to our left. And the reason for it is you're going to throw the ball here to number two. We're going to set a pick and roll, and he's going to pick the ball handler is going to go to his right. So again, it kind of feeds into that. What do you like to do 98% of the time? At my last job, I had a little left-handed player who was really good, and we would down screen for her. She would get out on the swing, and then she would go left. So if you have a lefty, you're going to want to put your left-handed players on the right side of the floor facing the basket, or on the left side of the floor facing the opposite basket. But in this case, down screen, four down screens for two, five for three, two pops out, and one is going to enter the ball. Now, you notice one really doesn't go anywhere. I tell this guy right here, now I drew the arrow to where this person would go to their left, but in reality, I mean, what I tell my players is go find a passing lane because, first of all, you got five popping up here, so you don't want to crowd the floor. But I have my guard come up here and get up top, just find them a spot. And then what happens is you see in frame three, four is going to come out and set an on the ball screen. Another thing that happens is when this ball gets entered to that wing, the weak side post is going to pop up to the weak side elbow. And there's a point to that. You'll notice number three, or the three has slid to the corner. What's going to happen is as we go to this next frame, you're going to see why we place the people where we do. So four comes up, sets an on the ball screen, and we're now going to run pick and roll with these guys. This is your first option in this offense. If you've got a good guard right here, if number two is good, one, he's going to be able to hit that pick and roll, or two, he's going to be able to get to the hole. I mean, I'm very fortunate right now. I've got a couple of pretty good guards who can get to the lane, get to the rim, and create a little bit of havoc. Now, here's what two is looking for, and this is going to be the key to the whole thing. And I'm going to show you this. Frame four is actually there's four, and then there's five, and they're the same thing, just showing you the different options. But as two comes off of this, now five has come up and stood here. The key is five's man. The post has to know what his man is going to do. If his man stays with him, then five just simply stays high, and he's just kind of staying out of the way. This is going to allow two to get all the way to the hole or to the rim. The key is, what if five's man leaves him? In this case down here in this bottom frame, let me see if I can change my zoom on that a little bit to kind of, oh, nope, not going to be able to. But the key is going to be, what if Five's man leaves him? If he pinches to help, Five's job is to dive, automatically dive. If he turns his head, he dives. If he pinches, he dives. And so what that allows is two's coming here, Five's man steps over to help, dumps the basketball. Another option for two in this is number three spotting up in the corner. I am very fortunate again right now. I have a kid that I can put in that corner, and you don't want him shooting threes. If you're the defense, he's a really good shooter. But that is something that we can do, is penetrate, get in here. If this kid can't get to the rim, or if the pick and roll is not there, or if Five on the dive is not there, we get this kick. Now, off screen here, you can't really see it, but one is standing down here where he was before. One is it's just hard to get him back involved in it, and that's okay, because these other four guys ought to be able to get this done by running that. But anyways, that is what we call our Thunder offense. And again, it is very effective if you have good, smart players. They can run that. Now, there are also three options that come off of our Thunder offense. The first one is power. See how many frames I got on this. Okay, good. We're going to be able to show you. Okay, so again, offense starts the same. Thunder power is something that you as a coach will call. And I, if I say, hey, just run Thunder, the kids don't go into these three options unless I call it. So, but every once in a while I'll say, okay, hey, run Thunder power. And what that is you start getting these defenders after you've run Thunder a couple times, they start getting a little bit out of position. So one enters the ball to two, but now this time, instead of an on the ball screen, Five is going to flash to the high post, ball side high post, and we're going to enter the ball to the guy there. Okay. Don't know why I put X1 as the defender on four, because that's kind of stupid, but just imagine that's a four. So that's four's man, and he's front and four. On this flash, I explained this in the flex offense, what I call a power post up is anytime you're trying to lob the ball to your posts who are being fronted from up on the floor where there's no possibility of lob help. And that's what we terminology wise call a power post up. If we were throwing it from the wing and one was fronting and there's a possibility of lob help, we don't necessarily call that a power post up. That's just a post up. But power indicates that there's no possibility of lob help. If three's man came cleared down under here, well, now you've got that, or even three dive into the block. But again, that's not realistic to think, especially in this case. My number three is a kid who can shoot the basketball. So Five catches the ball at the elbow, looks, as you see here in frame forward, to dump to number four, who's the post. Some of you guys might be going, well, my post is number five. Well, okay. If we had gone to the other side, then four would have flashed to the high post, and we would have had a power post up with number five. We just did this way on this one. So just to, like I said, to kind of give you an idea. But that is our power option out of Thunder. The next option is what we call paddle. Again, these are pretty creative terms. Don't ask me where they came from, because quite frankly, I don't even remember. It was just what I kind of thought about was one time I heard a coach refer to the middle of the floor as the channel, like in a river. And if you were swimming across or going across the river, you're going to paddle across the river. And then the last option is swim, like you're swimming across the river. So paddle is the same thing. Throw to two, four flashes high. We're going to throw the ball to four at the high post. Okay, now, four catches and looks to dump to five on a power post up. But what happens is his man jumps in the passing lane. And once again, if you notice, I'm real smart. I have four guarding five and five guarding four. Don't ask me why I did that. That's kind of bugging. But I can probably switch those since we're just like right here. This is another thing about fast draw. I do that, and then I just save the play. It's kind of cool. So anyways, if four's man jumps in the passing lane, gets up in his face to basically what we would call the left side of the lane, he uses a ball fake, and then he drives to the hole. Again, if three's man were to sink back and help, you've got to kick the three. But what I found is 95% of the time, this dude, if he does that, he is getting to the hole. and it's tough to defend because you've really kind of overloaded the floor here. Okay. Now the last option is what we call swim. Again, everything's the same. Ball goes to two. Five's gonna go high. Notice I also switched my numbers around here. I didn't. Those are the same. But five goes high to the elbow, and we enter the ball to him. Now we put this option in because this is a case where four is fronting four. The four defender is fronting my number four, but he's kind of backing up and leaning on him a little bit. Again, you see posts sometimes. Maybe the first time they play a little bit high, you throw over their head, so then they start, sagging and bumping up against the guy. And if that happens, I tell my post, take your top side arm and use a swim move to get around him, as you see here in frame number four. To get around him, that leaves this guy behind, and you simply dump it. And if you call it, they know what they're looking for. And again, I have a group right now that's really pretty good about executing this. It's an effective little offense, very simple to learn. It's just a pick and roll. And we do some drills in practice that really emphasize that. So, anyways, so back, just go through it again. We have Thunder, which is just our regular Thunder offense. We have Power, which is the dump to the low post on a lob where there's no lob help. We have Paddle, which is the ball fake, and my guard, or your power forward, which again, I'm very fortunate. I'm guard heavy. But even if I use my power forward, he's very capable of getting to the hole. And then, of course, the last one is swim. Like I said, this is when you get this defender kind of leaning on your guy and not really having a proper stance defensively, and your guy can just use a swim move and get around him. Hope you guys appreciate this. Again, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll come back with another one another time. Thank y'all.